Solana is exploding and it has a great chance of reaching previous all-time highs of $250 and making new highs. We're going to go over the Sol USD pair, the BTC pair, and the ETH pair because you can take Bitcoin and ETH and throw it into Sol and hopefully double that and bring it back into Bitcoin and ETH. If you're a BTC or ETH maxi, you want to be taking profits in those and compounding your gains. So the BTC and the ETH chart are both looking really great. Sol has just been pushing, no pullback, so we are going to be patient and get a great entry. So for the Sol USD pair, you can see it's exploded. It's broken this large resistance that we had trouble getting over and it's not stopping. So I don't want to FOMO into this, but you can see, and we'll go over the USD pair quickly. This was used as support. This was used as support. And then resistance, 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 and we flipped that. If we see Sol coming down to 27, which I highly doubt, that's a major buy. I do think the market pushed up very quickly upwards, so we are seeing a stall. We are seeing hopefully some sort of pullback, so we can get into this if you haven't already. We've been sharing Sol for the last few weeks, months, and it's been a no-brainer play. So I am looking more into the BTC and ETH pair because if you're holding BTC and ETH, it's a great way to double it. If we break down into the daily candle, you can see that we're extended above the moving averages. Sol has just been overperforming. We have some support here. I'm honestly looking for the USD pair if we could come into the $50 to $45 range. So anywhere between, as I mentioned, $50 to the $45 range, and I did a short about that, that's where I would be laddering in my buys. I don't think we're going to see anywhere near $35, $34, but Christmas would be coming early. If so, coming into the weekly moving average here, this is where I would start buying. If you're looking for a bounce off support or some sort of bullish pattern or candlestick bullish variation, whatever it may be, then you start buying. I'm not a fan of buying at the top of resistance, especially when it hasn't stopped and it's just flying. So I don't want to cover the USD pair for too long. I want to jump into Sol BTC. If you look at the coin market cap and the market cap for Sol, it is sitting at 25 billion, top 6 coin in terms of market cap, number 6. And for it to reach back to all-time highs, you're going to see a market cap of approximately $200 billion. And if we're looking at the total market cap in terms of dollars, we're at 1.5 trillion. And with this bull market coming, in previous bull markets, we just explode 3 trillion. And you can see from the previous bull market, we rose 2,700%. And from the bottom to the top on this bull market in 2015, 18,000%. Every bull market, it's growing smaller and smaller. So maybe it's 1,000%, or maybe with the ETFs, we pull that 10,000%. Nobody knows, but we know one thing. When we break this all-time high, we are going to make new highs. We're going to go into price discovery mode. And who knows how far it'll be pushed up, especially with these big players, these large institutions coming in. So looking at the Sol BTC, and why I love this is because if you're holding BTC, and this was like last cycle, I took BTC, I threw it in ETH, the ETH narrative was huge. Now it's looking like the same thing, but with Sol. You could take Bitcoin, you can take ETH, you could throw it into Sol, you still want the base holdings in Bitcoin, if that's 50%, 60%, whatever it may be. Or if you're true degen, you don't have any Bitcoin and you're going hard on the mid cap, low cap coins, looking for those huge X's. But you do want to take profits in Bitcoin and stack as many sats as possible. So you can see this, we've clearly flipped into an uptrend after making highs right here, we are now making higher lows and higher highs. And these are some of the best trades I've personally done. Waiting for a break of structure, waiting for the change of trend, and then stacking up large on a pullback. So you can see we don't have a pullback here yet. Some people could take the fibs and put it right here. Some people might put it at a different low, or a different A to B, whatever it may be. But you can see, and this lines up perfectly with my 61.8. And you can see that support is huge right here. This was used as resistance right here, used as support, resistance. So this is an important area. And you can see right here, we're actually breaking down this huge weekly bearish candle. We can go on the daily as well and look at where this area that I'm looking to buy, it lands perfectly here. And this is a perfect buying area for myself. This is where I would start buying. If I see it breaking down on the daily under the moving averages, it could potentially also test this 200 EMA, and that would be an amazing buy for myself. A bounce off the 200, it would be the first interaction with it after the golden cross right here. And this is a clear change of a direction. It's a clear change of trend. So if I get the opportunity to buy on a deep pullback, which I've been patiently waiting for, I would be stacking some Bitcoin into this. So this is what I'm looking for, a pullback into this 61.8, and then for it to continue the trend. This would be a perfect entry for myself, and it's not going to move up in a straight line, and it won't move down in a straight line. But Sol has performed extremely well. So it's not crazy to think to see a pullback, to see people taking profits, maybe repositioning their portfolios, whatever it may be. If we can get a pullback this deep, and we'll take the price range right here, if we can get a pullback into the 11,000 Satoshi area, 10,000 would be good, but 11,000, and we have a target right here at the extension, 61.8 extension, or even the first extension right here is still a 90% move. And that looks like a great place to target because it's previous support and resistance. You can see how these areas interacted with this. So 90%, you take one Bitcoin, you almost turn it into two. You take 10 Bitcoins, almost into 20. So I'm being extremely patient with the Sol BTC pair. I think that it's going to provide an amazing opportunity depending on how far it pulls back. If it breaks under the moving average, or if it breaks under this area right here and gets rejected, I would be worried. I don't think that's going to happen, especially given now we're making higher highs and higher lows. So depending on where this goes, this is going to place a higher low for us. And you don't chase. Wait for the retrace. This is one of the better spots you can get instead of buying like here, trying to chase the price action. You're waiting for the pullback, and then you're expecting for it to continue to the upside to make another higher high. So if the price breaks down, your analysis is invalidated. So you can place a stop, you can watch it, whatever you're comfortable with. But I think that waiting for a higher low is the best strategy in these markets, because you never want to FOMO in, especially after it's done a 200-300% from the point A right here. And if you're looking at the bottom, it's done multiple hundreds of percent. So if we actually go from here, you can see almost the 300% move. And we're just looking for a small pullback so we can get in this and multiply our Bitcoins. That's kind of the move I'm looking for on Bitcoin. I don't want to take too much time on this, and we'll jump over to the ETH pair. But you can see what I'm seeing right here, a pullback into this strong area, and then we're going to just be buying that. And we'll look for a push to make a higher high, and we will take profits. It could go to all-time highs, so we're not going to, close the whole position out, but maybe we can take our initial and let the rest ride, especially if you're multiplying your Bitcoins, this is a no-brainer. With the narrative Sol has, with the strength it's been showing, you do not want to miss out on this. So let's jump to the Sol ETH pair as well. And it's just insane looking at it. It's going to make all-time highs against ETH, and it has been on a tear as well. So if we're looking for areas to buy, this one would be the no-brainer because it was stuck under this resistance. If it was to come back and give us last touch here, or give us the price at 0.1594, that would be a no-brainer. You're going to take your ETH, you're going to put it in Sol, and you're going to ride it back to the top. Same thing here. We're looking for a higher low. If we take our fibs from this point right here and take it to the top, which is our B point, you can see this would be the best buying opportunity. I don't think we'll get a pullback that far. How much would that have to drop? Approximately 40%. So you'd have to see two things: Sol underperforming or ETH overperforming, and Sol is not matching that. Same with the Bitcoin. If Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin chart against Sol, if Bitcoin starts rallying and Sol isn't, or Sol is actually moving downwards, that allows the Bitcoin pair to really flourish and to see that pullback on Sol. So we need ETH and we need BTC to start pushing and pushing hard so we can get these amazing opportunities on Sol. So this is like a no-brainer buy. The 78.6, we might not get that. So I'm looking at the 61.8, and even if we get this right here, the 38.2, bouncing off this, using it as support, it is still going to give us a great trade. Not as much as the Bitcoin trade. I'm looking for the BTC trade to be like, I'm trying to pull that off large and hopefully getting in 1 or 2 Bitcoin, to be honest, and making 100K, 6 figures on this trade. And I'm just looking for similar setups that I could take these trades and just start compounding these gains. So I wanted to do a quick video on Sol against USD, against Bitcoin and ETH. Those are the pairs I'm really looking at. So I'm really watching these to get these pullbacks. Let me just remove this right here. If we go on the daily, these levels aren't impossible. It would be a major flush, especially with what we've seen over the market the last few days, weeks. I think we are going to see a blow off top. I could be wrong. The halving's extremely close now, but we've just exploded so fast, and people are FOMOing. I think we will get a liquidation event where maybe we thrust upwards, we induce long positions, then we liquidate everything down to the bottom. I could be wrong. Price could be extremely bullish. We could keep flying upwards. And if we do so, I'll just miss the entries. I'm going to look for better entries if so. I'll look for a better pullback at higher prices. If I don't get the pullbacks here that I'm looking for, I'm not going to FOMO in. But if I do, I'm going to just get in without thinking, because I've been watching this for quite some time and we haven't been blessed with some pullbacks, or we haven't been blessed with buying opportunities like this. The BTC chart, the Sol BTC chart, is the one I'm really watching for. I'm waiting to get a very solid entry here. The further it dips, the more I'll buy. So if you guys have any questions, post them below. We are going to be delivering a video every day. So if you have any suggestions as well, post them below. We'll go over those charts. Let's make some gains together. This bull market, we're going to lock ourselves in. Anybody can do it. You're literally one trade away. It's the crazy thing about crypto is anybody around the world, they have the same opportunities, they have the same access to all these coins and opportunities and airdrops, and anybody's lives can get changed. You just have to take action. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow.